Okay. So I don't know what it is with Screen Rant at the moment, but I feel like when any one of their like the writers or reporters or journalists start talking about Power Rangers, they make you obviously click on this as a clickbaity title and stuff like that. But it just feels like they don't know the difference between the comic books and the actual TV series. And it's starting to slightly really wind me up a little bit, because the way that they write these articles, it feels like they're saying like the Power Rangers TV show never addressed this, they never did this, or they never did that, and they should be telling everybody about this straight away. And it royally kind of makes me go, why? Like, why would you do this? Okay, so looking at this right now, Power Rangers admits that the 90s show lied about Rangers' happy ending. And it's like, no, they didn't lie at all. And the way when I was reading through this entire article, now you can go read it. I will link it in the description if you want. Now, literally, they're pretty much saying in this article that as soon as the Rangers leave to do whatever they want to do, that, that they have PTSD, and the fact is that they feel guilty and stuff like this. And I don't know why you would instantly say this to make it sound like, the 90s didn't turn around and tell you any of this. It's really fucking baffling. So basically what they're referring to is this article, or this comic book thing, this panel or panels, where they start talking mainly about like when the Rangers go off and do their own thing, like what have they got left? And it's stuff like Zordon calls them soldiers, which again I feel like shouldn't have been said, because it just feels a little bit weird to say, hey, you're now soldiers, blah blah blah. But it's when they start acknowledging other things, like obviously Sterling says, and that comes with all its benefits, PTSD, trauma, guilt, which is obviously right there. I had to double check that. But I just feel like you shouldn't be linking the comic books to the actual 90s stuff, because with your title here, it admits the 90s show lied about the Rangers. At the end of the day, when people grow up with this, and then when you're kind of having, like, let's say my age, when I watched it, I didn't think, oh shit, Kimberly and all that, when they left, they're going to be racked with guilt. They're going to have PTSD. Everything is going to just destroy them later on in life. I generally kind of thought, right, you're going to the Pan Global Games. That's something that you've wanted to do. That's really, really cool. I didn't kind of think that there's going to be an episode next with Kimberly turning around and shitting her pants because something's happened or whatever's going on. Like, I'd never kind of really kind of think about that whatsoever. And it just feels really weird that someone here at Screen Rant has kind of written about this. You're here. The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers portrays retired team members as leaving behind their Ranger status to uncomplicated ways. For example, the original Red, Black, and Yellow Rangers left the team. They were chosen for a World Peace Conference in Switzerland, while the Pink Ranger left to train at the Pan Global Games in Florida. In these instances, the 90s TV show suggested that the team simply moved on with their lives, when convenient, passing on over their powers to another qualified candidate who would take place at protecting the planet. However, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1 and 6 confirms that the roles couldn't just be shrugged off, and Rangers must deal with a major psychological fallout from their service. I never really kind of go, oh shit, this is a thing. I don't know why Screen Rant are just talking about this. After saving the universe multiple times than anyone can count, it's no surprise that any Power Ranger would have a hard time adjusting to civilian life, even aside from the lingering trauma that they may experience. As a former Power Ranger herself, Grace would know better than anyone. These kinds of struggles that await a Ranger entering retirement have gone through having gone through them herself, and still better over the experience, risking their lives, engaging in the constant violence, and forcing unpredicted threats on a weekly basis. The Rangers are, as Zordon observes, closer than soldiers than anything. The idea that they struggle with PTSD is no surprise, and shows how the children's TV show exaggerated anyone's ability to quickly and simply move on from being a Ranger. The Power Rangers may be some of the galaxy's greatest heroes, but at the end of the day, they're still children growing up against some pretty terrifying odds. With everything they've already gone through and will go through if they continue down the path of hero, it's fitting that their experiences will change them dramatically, and admitting that fact that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers finally acknowledges the price of the immense heroism. Now, my main kind of thing that I have here is the fact that a kid's show is not going to turn around and show all of this that's going to happen. They're not going to show a ranger having PTSD or trauma, because that's not how you work with kids television. At the end of the day, if a ranger moves on, you're not going to get a kid that will turn around and say, well, what happens if they have this, or what happens if they have that? I don't think any kid is going to turn around and question it. I never ever thought about it until now. But when I kind of see these articles from Screen Rant, they kind of like bring you in due to the fact that, it's like, oh, the 90s show never addressed this, the 90s show never did that. And I just kind of sit there and go, why are you like combining the show and the comics together? Because it just feels really weird. And I do think it's kind of a slow news day when they pick up the issue and go, oh shit, we better write about that because it's talk about it. Yeah, it's important to talk about all the traits if it's in real life, but seeing it as a kid show and a normal comic book, I don't think that you need to start talking and saying like, the show finally addressed it, the Rangers finally addressed it. I just don't think you need to kind of talk about it at all. Like, it just feels weird. Again, if this was happening in real life, which it does, yes, there is more time to talk about that and help and do that. I just feel that, again, like the whole image that you saw at the very beginning where you've got Kimberly, the actress, and Amy Jo, and then you've got the animated or the comic book version of Kimberly. It just feels like, you're trying to kind of bring people in. It's like, oh my God, like all the Power Rangers have PTSD, all of them. I just find it really weird. And they're finally they admit it. Ha ha ha. Again, I just feel like this is such a weird article. Anyway, I wanted to talk about it. I saw it. I just feel that Screen Rant is just really grasping at straws right now. It's like, shit, we better do something. I guarantee you that, let's say for example, it's like Tommy and Kimberly admit that they want Jason to be in their relationship, and then they want Adam to join as well, and they want Aisha, and then they get like Delphine? Is it Delphine from Alien Rangers? And it'd be like, finally, Power Rangers admits to this, and finally Power Rangers admits to multiple relationships, and we never saw it till now. It should have totally happened. That's how I imagine it doing. That's how I imagine it being. Like they're just grasping at straws to kind of throw anything in there, and they're just reading the comic books every week to make articles like this. It just baffles me on so many different levels right now that I generally don't know why they're writing about it. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with that article? Do you think that this is true? Or do you think that, again, they're just grasping at straws? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this content, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out everything. And if you feel like you want to help and help with the channel, then consider becoming a channel member. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help does go a long way to support the channel, and if you want to consider helping the channel, then links to my Patreon as well as the channel members are listed below.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。